First at 4, a community organization that became a lifeline for Ukrainian refugees coming to the state of Idaho is preparing to close their doors after more than 3 years of service. The Ukrainian Welcome Center in Nampa has helped hundreds of people fleeing war, but with fewer arrivals, the center says their mission is nearing completion. Jude Binkley joins us live this afternoon from Nampa to show us how a small volunteer effort grew into something much bigger. Jude?
Well, Joe, this center provides everything from basic needs to help finding jobs and immigration services. And it actually started as a small closet in the wake of a crisis on the other side of the world, and yet was able to transform a community thousands of miles away.
Did you like the zoo?
A classroom of kids share stories from their recent trip to the zoo. For Ukrainian children displaced by conflict, this summer camp helps them build new memories after losing so much. It's proof of what happens when a small Idaho community decides to help strangers in need.
It's really evolved into something really magnificent.
The program is one of the resources offered by the Ukrainian Welcome Center in Nampa that opened shortly after Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine.
The war started in February, and by the end of March, we already started seeing arrivals.
Center Director Dr. Tina Polishuk says the organization started in a small church closet, trying to help Ukrainians fleeing the conflict.
We initially thought that, we'd be here for 6 months, and yes, we're here 3.5 years now.
Since opening,
we have assisted over 800 individuals across 9 counties in the state.
The center has served as a safety net, starting with providing basic needs before evolving into a center that offered classes, housing, and job resources in their native language.
Our entire staff speaks Ukrainian and Russian, and so they're able to, build those relationships and connections with us without second guessing whether they were misunderstood.
But now the center is set to close its doors, seeing a drop-off in people needing help after the U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services paused approval of sponsorship applications last fall.
The last arrivals that we've served came in September of last year, and so those individuals are working, they have their own housing, they have stability, and so there's just not that same level of need as we saw in previous years.
The center will officially close its doors in September, marking the end of an era born from crisis but defined by hope.
I have met so many amazing people that have a ton of resilience. Their stories continue to change as things change in Ukraine. There's a lot of unknowns for what their future holds for them, but it really has been a privilege to serve these individuals, and also a privilege to work with our community and discover how generous people are and how open and willing people were to help.
And the Ukrainian Welcome Center has actually had 2 different locations over its history. We showed you some video of both of those in our story. And Dr. Polishuk says right now their biggest concern is really around immigration status. It's kind of unclear on how long many of these refugees will be able to stay here in the U.S. Joe, she says some of the center staff will be around on a volunteer basis to help with any questions and future challenges when it comes to that.
Interesting. Well, it's hard to imagine what they've gone through and what they are experiencing here in the state of Idaho, but great work from volunteers. And as Jude mentioned, some resources will still be available. Jude Binkley reporting in Nampa. Thanks so much.